Okay, guys. I think a lot of you guys are probably a little burnt out on all the political stuff and apocalyptic stuff, and what you maybe want a little break, right? So this is kind of like apocalyptic stuff, but what I'm going to talk about here. But it's survival. It's bushcrafted survival. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to be talking about some stuff here. No copyright infringements are inferred, or none of that jazz, just in case YouTube tries to pop me on this video, because I don't know all of their little nuances, because nobody reads the 50 pages of baloney that usually goes along with using a service like this, right? We're just trying to help educate people out there. That's what a lot of us are trying to do. There's a lot of flim-flam artists out there that are just trying to make a buck, right? But I'm not in this for the money. I'm in it to help people. So this morning I've got on my patch panels here, I've got some survival schools, bushcraft survival school patches there, and what do you call it? National Geographic, and this was the 100th anniversary of the South Pole. First to the South Pole, right? So this is in the shape of a sextant, because they didn't have GPS in those days, right? They had to do box reconnaissance and box in the South Pole to make sure that they did, after all that effort, I think it was 90 days they put in to get there, and I don't remember if it's just to get there and get back. But anyway, yeah. So I got the Hood's Woods patch up there, Ron Hood. I have a lot of respect for that guy, even though I never met him. So I'm just going to tell you a little chit-chat story here, right up front, and then we'll go into some of this other stuff. So I have designed a number of knives, and anyway, I got to talking with a friend of mine. His name was Mike, at a well-known knife company, and about something, I can't remember what it was. And he told me, he says, do you know Ron Hood? And I said, no. I said, I do not know Ron Hood. I said, I don't believe I know Ron Hood. I said, are you going to tell me something good or bad? Because I didn't want to be associated with anybody that was bad. You know how that is. But anyway, he says, Ron Hood, he says, I'm good friends with this fella named Ron Hood. And he passed away. And I said, okay. And he says, you remind me of Ron Hood. He says, I talk with you and I watch your videos. He says, you really remind me of Ron. He says, you got his same type of personality and everything. And your ideas are very, very alike. And I said, well, he's a good man. I said, I appreciate that compliment, because coming from him, it was a high compliment to be associated with somebody like Ron Hood, as far as, being like that person. So I never knew Ron Hood, but he told me that I reminded him of Ron Hood a great deal. So after that, I researched him, and I found out a whole lot of stuff about him, and You know, he passed away, I think it was 2011, which is a sad thing. He passed away of cancer. But, you know, he has family left behind and so on. And so I found out about all of the DVDs that he had done and so forth, and I got a couple of them, and I thought, yeah, you know, this guy, I could see why he would say that I remind him of Ron Hood, because you know, you watch those DVDs and you can see a lot of the same no nonsense stuff, you know, about survival and whatnot. And I thought, well, that's really cool, you know. I felt honored to have been told that I was, you know, I reminded somebody of Ron Hood. So anyway, that patch right there is in Ron Hood's honor. So, and I went ahead and I bought one of Ron's designs on his knives, and got it right here. Actually, it's the Anaconda, and I kind of did the color scheme on the sheath myself with, you know, paint and so on. You know, kind of like a green and brown drabs and stuff and whatnot. Anyway, I like that knife quite a bit. It's my second one. I had one, was in the Tonto tip, and I sold that one. And then I got another one in a regular tip. Anyway, then of course everybody knows Ray Mears. You know, Ray Mears is famous throughout the world, holds courses and whatnot, and he's done a lot of stuff on TV and everything. And then I talked about Essie there with Jeff Randall there the other day as well. And then you got Morse Kahansky with Karamat. Well, I discussed all of those the other day, but yeah. So what's this leading into? This is leading into grid down type stuff. Okay. Now, Ron Hood, Hood's Woods, he was associated with people like Larry Olson, which was out in Utah in that area. Okay. And so I got a number of books here. This is where all that copyright crap comes in, right? I'm not making no money off this. I'm trying to recommend stuff. So what I recommend people to do, if you're already very knowledgeable in bushcraft and survival, I recommend that you buy books. And I've got some digital stuff over there that I'll show you here too. So I've got this, which a buddy of mine gave me this and the other, okay? And he also gave me this, Remove Before Flight. So kind of a kind of a joke, right? A little inside joke there about the rapture, you know, taking flight, right? Getting out of here. So anyway, yeah, it says stealth on there. Survivor. So it's a waterproof aluminum case with a thumb drive in it. So this has all of Ron's DVDs, I believe, were put on this flash drive. That because CD, you're not always, you know, CD is bigger, harder to carry around, whatnot. So I believe that all of the Ron Hood DVDs have been put on this, if I remember correctly. And for a safer storage and easier to handle, right? And then the DVDs are obviously locked away somewhere. And then on this portable drive, all of the Ray Mears, I think there might even be all the Ray Mears on here as well that you would find on, say, YouTube or whatnot, right? So stuff that's freely available, all the Ray Mears stuff. I think that's on here. I don't remember. I'd have to look at it. But anyway, you could keep stuff like this, okay, around. That way, you know, if somebody doesn't know anything, if they've got, they've got some intelligence to them, they can watch this stuff and they can learn on their own. All right. This is emergency backup. Grid goes down. I'm not here. Maybe I've gone into rapture. Somebody needs this stuff to learn to survive, including the Bible, right? Keep plenty of Bibles around telling what happened. So I'm going to recommend a few books. I've got lots of books. I got a library. What I do is I scan through a book. This is how I do it because I have a lot of experience. I scan through a book and then I say, I'm rejecting this one because it's just the same old stuff. It's just repackaged by another person and another title and another name, whatnot, right? But then there are books that have other stuff or other ideas about certain things. I scan through this. I have a trained eye to look for certain key things, and I'll just decide whether it's a go or no go, right? So everybody knows this one, SAS Survival Handbook, by John Wiseman. Old lofty. He's getting up there now. Okay. So we'll start out with that. This one's by Jeff Randall, SE, and Mike Perrin. I believe Mike Perrin's passed. Adventure Travel in the Third World. Okay. So that's a good one there for you. I thumbed through this, and it has a lot of good stuff in there in case you want to move, travel around a bit, before it really hits the fan, while you still have the chance to do, travel around. You get that book, it'll kind of educate you on some stuff, right? This is American Indian Crafts and Skills. Now it says Native American, but Native American is made up by a bunch of woke people. That term Native American, that's new. It's a bunch of woke people out of Berkeley started saying that. Okay, but old American Indian elders that I spoke with, okay, they don't like that because anybody born in America is native to America. Okay, they don't like this. They like to be called American Indian, okay? That's what the elders said. They said, American Indian is how we say it. It's how we're going to keep saying it. And we want people to stop messing with things. That's what I was told. And they did not like, the elders, they did not like these woke people changing the names of the football teams and everything else, because those teams were named as such to honor the American Indian heritage. All right. So all you woke clowns out there in the U.S., stop. Yep, running out of time already. Got a minute left here. Okay, I'm going to come back in one more and we'll keep going through this small stack of books here, and then I'll tell you about another project I got going on. So I'll see you there.